that's on TV. Big dog, he the voice of the streets. It's too much killing in the hood while they creeps out the violence. Look at your little kids, how you say that's not your problem? Yeah, we gon' debate after that. What, wait, teach these brothers that they kings, maybe they won't have to dream. It's a new day, a new era. Time to fall in love with that black that you see up in that mirror, nigga. Peace and love, unity and power, but sit your ass down, it's for the scholars. Minute after minute, hour after hour, let me shout out my Yahweh. You can shout out what you lean on. We going live, bring your screen on. Grab a seat, get this knowledge when the team on. Better pay attention before you end up in detention. Let me mention who it be sa.neter TV. Black peace, black love, black power. sa.neter TV. We can reach the world of power. On sa.neter TV. We can do it. If we each show up, what's stopping? sa.neter TV. Now you see. Yeah, on sa.neter TV. I don't hate you, black man. I just hate you cause you hate me. And I ain't did you nothing, but you looking all shady. Maybe it's Mercedes or that Beamer in the driveway. Maybe I can show you how to get that but you sideways. Tune in on that YouTube sa.neter TV. Yeah, we cooking in the kitchen, but there's no pig feet. I can give you a million years, but you can't beat me. You should try to be yourself. We can show you all the steps. What's your name? Where you calling from? Who on the line? Open up, what you calling for? What's on your mind? Dig up in that bag and drop a jewel for your people. Exposing all evil on sa.neter TV. Black power, sa.neter TV. We can reach the world of power on sa.neter TV. If we each show up, what's stopping? sa.neter TV. Now you see, yeah, on sa.neter TV.
Yeah. Y'all already know what it is. Peace and black power to everybody that's out there, man. Yo, we doing a late night show tonight. And let's show our brother some love. Tommy think he ain't got no love over here. I keep telling him that's not true. The brother gets love over here. And love him or hate him, just like y'all do y'all brother sa.neter. Love me or hate me, they still show love. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, family. We did a little something, but you know, let's come through for our brother Tommy. And I want to, Max Bird, can you put Tommy's Cash App in there now that we got him here? I sent them some good money from over here, from where we got earlier today. And so I need to keep it going with Tommy. Cause look, if we make our brother happy over here, he ain't got no problem with coming through. You know what I'm saying? A powerful topic come through. Let's call Tommy to deal with these issues right here, you know, because he is considered one of the most controversial brothers out here on YouTube as well. So let's make him happy at the same time, and let's get it in. And y'all can send me questions to ask him. So we all contribute like that. And so what's up, Tommy? How you been, man? What you been up to, brother? Unmute yourself. Let me unmute you.
Oh, man, I can hear me now?
Yes, I hear you.
I've been well. Just working, trying my best, but I appreciate you asking me to come out here. Just got back from eating some good sushi at a place called Old something. Yeah. I did well. So now I'm back, and I'm sorry I didn't come earlier, but that drive and that traffic in Atlanta, something going on down there.
Hey, you want to talk about your earlier interview yet? Do you want to talk about it? How was it, man? How you
doing? Which one? You talking about me and Charleston White?
Yes, you ain't put it out yet, right? You just edited it up.
No, these are exclusive for the website. You guys got to go.
Okay, there you go. That's right.
JSKOC.com. I'll be putting out clips for them, but it's we'll go live. So you go ahead and join over on TJS.
How did that go, brother? Talk about that a minute. How did that go?
Me and the brother said he came to my house, and we said we talked from 8:30 at night to 2:30 in the morning, and I think we ended up just talking about life. Like it ended up being like a situation where a lot of things we didn't know about each other, a lot of beefs we thought we had. That's what I got to give him.
You know, some of his talking points be like some of his talking points be just like you, brother.
Yeah. And a lot of people try to make beef where it wasn't. He, you know, like he came through, and I can tell you that when he came through, the whole thing was different than I thought it would have been. And I think you guys will enjoy it. It's a marathon interview. And I'm gonna put every second of it. I'm not gonna for the people on the website, they're getting from the time he sat down.
Let the people know your website too, brother.
Yeah, so the website is tjskoc.com. Just go check it out, or just Google Tommy Sotomayor to take you to it.
My moderators, can y'all put that in there? tj.com. Say it again.
tjskoc.com. That's
okay.
That's Thomas J, and then the S is for Sotomayor. TJS.
Okay,
TJ,
let me
and then KOC.com.
Brother. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Let's get into some things here. First of all, do you consider yourself to be pro-black? Let's go there.
That's a difficult thing to say because the pro-blacks don't consider. I know you asked me if I consider myself.
Right.
I would think that I am. That's a simple answer. Yes, I think that I am.
What makes you feel that you are pro-black? Like, what are some of the things you contribute to the black nation or to blackness? When I say black, we know we're not like this. We're just, using it as a political term.
Well, I think that when you say pro just means for.
Right.
Something. And I think that it's obvious that what I'm saying is for it, because no matter what negative you hear or think that I say is negative, if you've ever played any team sports, your coach is going to tell you what you do wrong. He's not going to sit there and tell you what the other team does wrong. He can't get you better by telling you that the other team is worse. He damn sure can't get you better by telling you that the other team is oppressing you. He's only going to get you better by saying he believes that you can be the best. He believes that you are the best, and he won't accept anything less. So I think anything other than that is not pro-black.
Do the sisters love you more than the brothers love you? And do they support you more than the brothers?
Women are always support more than men do. And that's a sad way of looking at it. No matter what it is you do, damn near women are going to support it more than men do, because men are selfish and don't really believe in giving other men anything, doing for other men like that, and they'll get jealous really quick. Well, women will find something about you, a redeeming quality, and then they'll hold on to it for a while. Think about it. There are women who will date deadbeat dads and will argue with anybody that says anything about that deadbeat dad, and she know he a deadbeat dad. There are women who will argue with anybody and whoop your ass over their abusive boyfriend, abusive husband, cheating husband, whatever it is. These women will support whatever it is they believe in supporting. They'll support it.
All right. Yeah. I forgot to tell you this too. No profanity. We don't use profanity no more.
Okay.
YouTube is right. Yeah, that's cool. We cool. Would you say that would you say your critique of black women, especially black mothers, is intended to help or harm black women?
The best way I can put it is,
you can go and elaborate on what you're saying.
Yeah, the best way I can put it is, I don't think it's intended to help, hurt, or harm. I think what it's intended to do is educate. The only thing that I've known how to do, and I think I'm really good at doing, is giving someone information that they can do with it whatever they want to. There's a saying that I would have. The old saying say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I always say I can lead is that a cuss word? I can lead a 304 to water, but I can't make a think. So what I do is lead them to the water. Whatever they do with it, think about all the things you've heard people call me over the years. And
right.
It's a number of names. Guess the one thing you haven't heard them call me?
What's
liar.
that?
A liar. Think about how many years I've been doing this.
You're right. You're right.
No one says he's
I've
a
never
liar.
heard nobody say that.
Mama, he gay,
Right.
he
hate
got a
black
little whatever
women.
it is.
He hate
Yes,
black-
but you never hear them say what he said was factually incorrect.
Let me see, Saul. Will you ask him how is his relationship with Fresh? How is your relationship with Fresh and Fit? That's coming from Brother Keon in the chat.
I got a good relationship with him. We don't, as they know, we don't ever do any shows unless I'm typically in Miami or if they come up here to where I am in Atlanta now. I'm going to be having more people here in Atlanta. I'm going to bring you down here in sa.neter and let you sit in the hot seat.
And you know what? And guess what? Me and Nepal was we was just talking about that earlier today. We was like, yo, we need to go and interview Tommy face to face.
Yes.
That's word. We was just talking about that today, and you come up with that. You gonna put me in the hot seat?
I got the fire set up. Well, everything will work out. Because Captain Cesario come down here all the time.
Yeah. That's cool. That's
cool. Yeah, so we cool. We are actually trying to set up. I haven't said anything about it. We are setting up Myron coming here himself, and I'm gonna set him down in the hot seat.
Oh, okay. Compare Black women by the decades from the 60s, 70s, 80s up to 2000, and especially keep in mind how they parent and how they prioritize their children.
I think Black women in the 60s, what they wanted to do was advance Black people. They saw us as a group. And they also knew that how they acted and what they brought to the table would affect their children and their spouses, their men. So if they acted wild, it was a bad look on the children. It was a bad look on the man. That was the 60s. They wanted to advance what Black people were. So they wanted to break down stereotypes. If you believe certain things about Black women, they wanted to make sure you didn't. If you believe certain things about the way that they dress their children or the way that the man dressed, we literally tried to break those stereotypes. You'd see a lot of brothers in suits. You see a lot of sisters in dresses. They were demure. They weren't going around yelling, screaming, yelling, none of that. Then you got the 70s. The 70s brought the civil rights movement, which then incorporated Black women into the feminist movement. The feminist movement had white women burning their bras and acting out. Black women weren't that in the 60s, but all of a sudden Black women had decided they have this love-hate relationship with white women because their love-hate relationship is that they have an envy towards white women. If you don't believe it, why almost everything that Black women have done has been to mimic the white woman, but then claim the white woman has tried to mimic her. There's a sad point when you can look and see that Kim Kardashian became the fixture for Black women. They were all trying to be a Kardashian, not the and so if the copy turns into the original, that's a problem. The copy, who she was, the copy, ended up now all of y'all are trying to be her. Now y'all are buying her makeup. You're buying her things, and she becomes a billionaire. You didn't, she did.
Wow.
And she brings her little sister along. Her little sister puffs up her lips. Thick lips like your lips. Now you're buying her lip balm to put on your lips. Now her sister becomes a billionaire. No Black women, both white women who took on Black women's culture, but you know what they did with it? They took Black women's culture and still remained feminine. You don't see Kim Kardashian fighting. You don't see Kylie Jenner fighting. You don't see them cussing in front of their kids. You don't see them cussing people out. As a matter of fact, Kim Kardashian has done more for Black men than the majority of Black women combined. She is in the Innocence Project. She went back and got her law degree. She didn't have white people tell her how she's educated. She don't go around prove how educated she is. She don't even go around try to prove how she loved a Black man. She just got in the Innocence Project and kept getting Black men released from prison. This is the same girl who started out on a sex tape. This is the same girl who's still trying to protect her children, even though the father of her kids has, kind of wild out. She still does nothing. She don't go out. That ain't no report of how she taking all kind of money from Kanye, nothing. She ain't making a fool of herself and doing videos like Amon Shumpert wife talking about some she just want to get her back beat out. So that was the 70s. Then we got to the 80s. The 80s, we had a problem. And that problem was crack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, up in New York, because y'all was the big ones shipping it everywhere. Y'all was the first ones to make millions off of it. Y'all was the first ones to turn it into a real thing. What happened then is those people that got addicted. So that's why I always laugh at the people who say they're pro-black and they're of a certain age. I'm like, y'all was the main one out here selling poison to you people. And we never call those people what they are. You were doing that in the 80s, in the 90s. And at that point in time, we were poisoning our children. We were poisoning our children as they came out crack babies. We were poisoning them as we then started to take, California decided, let's make gangster rap the thing. So what they started doing is saying, you're not a real man if you ain't a thug. So then the women started saying, well, we know there's money involved in two things, entertainment and drug sales. Because when I was little, I noticed that my aunts who had my cousins, they would sell dope and was living in the project house with mama. And mama knew it, but as long as they was getting big screen TVs, couches and stuff like that, they did not care. Something that if it was a father there, because in the 70s, they took the father out of the home because black women was trying to be white women. But what they didn't understand is those weren't white women. Those were the white heretics. They weren't the regular women. You learn that is in the debate, during the debate and the election of this year. There are two factions of white women. There's one of them that don't want to be at home with the husband. There's one group that love being at home with the husband. They got two groups. We ended up only having one. One group that don't want a husband, never at home with the husband, and the only thing they want is kids, because what happened is Lyndon Baines Johnson gave them a way to make money. And to make money was have children. Then you could have those children sell dope, have those children, have them join the NBA, have them join the NFL, have them rap, have them sing. And also you can make money from their death, which is really sad. But we'll get to there when we get to 2020.
Right. Family, hey, let's throw that Cash App in there for me, please. All my moderators. Let's keep Tommy Sotomayor Cash App rolling. Let's keep it in there. Make sure y'all support. See, everybody ain't got to come in with the 50s and the 100s, right? If everybody was to drop in a 10, if you drop in a 10 or 5, because right now we only got 334 people, so it will add up. That's what I be telling y'all, man. Let's get this thing going. Next thing for you, Cole Gates. I want you to know, brother, that my super chat works. I don't want nobody asking me no more to ask Tommy this question. We got to stop being cheap to each other. The super chat work. Hit that super chat and we can make sure we get your question answered. Let me ask you, Tommy, you have been heard saying that women should not be able to vote. What do you mean by that? Can you please explain that, brother?
I think they need to repeal the 19th. I think women vote emotionally, and I think women, in my opinion, have been the cause of the downfall of most of society. I think you watch right now, look who's the biggest people who support the LGBT movement. It's women. Most of these dudes in the comment section, you brought me on the show, and one of them said, Tommy's about to, what did he say? I want to make sure what he said. He said, Tommy's about to become the victim as soon as we don't agree with him. Just to even thought about that as a brother that was raised by his mama. Because if you came all the way here to sit and say something like that, instead of saying, let's listen to what he has to say, and then I will disagree or agree as I hear it. You're trying to start something like a woman before you even get to that point. Imagine going on a date with a woman and saying, if you sit across the table from that woman and you say, any minute now, you're going to start acting a hood rat during the date. Imagine if he went anywhere and said while he was in an interview, any minute now, you're going to be racist. You're childish. But you can say what you want, sir. I know, but I don't really care what you say. You know me and I don't know you. But the point being is that's why I don't believe women should be able to vote, because they raise people like that. A real man raises a son to do this. If it is a place that you don't want to be, you leave. If you're in a situation that you don't like, you leave. If you hear something that you don't agree with, you give a explanation of why you don't agree with. If you hear false information, you say why it's false and you correct it. But if you hear something that's truthful, regardless of where you heard it from. Because there's a reason why Othello ended up being a ruler over white armies. They didn't care that he was black. He was good. And that's what men do. If you notice, when we were little, when you're a man, if there's a boy who's the better quarterback, we didn't argue that we all need to play quarterback. It was pretty quick that we said he was the quarterback. What happened when we started having women raising these children? Now you had everybody gets to play the quarterback during the game. Now everybody gets a trophy.
So do you blame the women? Do you blame the women, or do you blame the daddies and the fathers for not being there with the women? Tommy?
The government allowed the women to be able to shove the man out of the house whenever she wanted to. What can the father do?
But see, that was in the 70s and 80s. They're not doing that today, brother.
Well, yes, they are. Once the government set a rule, okay, the government said that slaves are free. They don't say it every year. Once they say it,
they not going through the problem, or they not pushing the black man and the father out the house today. That's what I'm saying. They're not doing it.
It's already caught. The government's not doing it. Listen, let me tell you something. I can't make your girl cheat on you with me. Mm-hmm. But if I sit there and keep whispering in her ear and make it seem like she's got a bad situation with you and a better situation with me,
right,
I have helped foster it. That's what the government did. The government didn't make, I will never give black women the excuse of the government made them do it. The government did the same thing the devil did to Eve. He didn't make Eve do a thing, did he? He just told Eve what to do, or he didn't even tell her what to do. He just told Eve, here's what you got, here's what you can have. When we trying to get a woman to cheat on her man, ain't that what we do? Yep. Dude had a song called Baby, I Wanna Do All of the Things Your Man Wants. So he was just offering this to her, and she was able to sit there and say, do I want to stay with him? Yeah. So that's what the government did. The government just gave black women a choice. They didn't force them. The choice is the devil's choice, the serpent's choice. It always feels good for the moment, but for the long haul, it doesn't work. For the long haul, the first thing that Eve got, she got every pleasure of the world when she bit into that apple. And I guarantee you it was the most amazing thing she'd ever felt. And what did she have to deal with afterwards? The death of her children fighting, the death of herself, the death of her husband, the death of humanity, the death of all these things. But the first bit she got was beautiful. Just like the first night you cheat on your girl. That's the best sex you've had. That first night is amazing. The problems that come with it, now you might lose your kids. Now you might lose your wife. You realize this side chick ain't as good as your wife because she don't cook clean, and she the one trying to tell you where you can and can't go. At least your wife let you out the house so you could cheat. Now you realize it's too much. So, hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep. There we go. We got Tommy in the building, y'all. And if y'all could show the brother love too, let's get it in there. We got Tommy in the building. And we need to keep brothers like this over here because he's gonna bring a different energy, whether we agree with him or not, y'all. You feel me? Whether we agree with Tommy or not. Because y'all don't agree with me. Y'all, some of y'all be hating all over what I say. So, hey, let's get it.
Please tell that dude to get off my penis now. That's
not
Who that?
Who that? Oh, okay, yeah, because he donated. So I don't know.
See that on the right? Maybe he don't know what that is since he's trying to ask. These I tell you, people are lame.
You know him?
I don't. That is what an ex fan. These ex-fans always turn into stalkers. So do you see that? You see that, bro?
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you see it.
Yeah, Bullets Gotti in the building. What up, Bullets Gotti? I see it. Shout out to Bullets Gotti, man. Bullets Gotti have grown a little bit. I see my man. I see my little shorty over there.
Now would you please stop? And would you please get off my penis, sir? All right. Would you please get off my penis? Just because every place I'm at, this flag ain't at, sir. Just imagine being again, that's why I tell you, I don't think women should vote. When you got grown men He donated money to you to ask where my flag is. As if, let me tell you what I got, Colgates. I have a 8,100 square foot house. You might not know how big that is, so you should Google it. So you know what I got in an 8,100 square foot house? I got something that y'all have a hard time going to your neighborhood shopping, where you go shop at. I got studio sets, sir. I can walk out one room and walk in another room, and it's another set. I can walk out another room into another room, and it's another set. So I don't have the same thing on each one. Sorry about that, sir. Sorry. But if you watch the right show, you'll see that Panamanian flag. Okay, sir? Thank you. Jeez. But at least he donated. At least he donated.
Sorry about that. Let me ask you, Tommy, let's get back on track.
Yes.
Do you feel that our women are still oppressed and discriminated against in 2025?
No, women ain't been discriminated against. It's a lie. They make that up. They sit up there and talk about some, and you could talk to almost any woman. Black women got to just act like they're victims for no reason, but ask them what is oppressed. Ask them how they've been oppressed. They couldn't tell you.
Speaking of discrimination based on gender, what is your take on Trump deleting the federal equality and inclusion programs?
You mean DEI?
Yes.
They should have. I don't believe in DEI. DEI means didn't earn it. DEI need to. DEI means it should be. DEI should have been a long time ago. It should have DIE'd. That's what should have happened. It's stupid. Look, let me tell you one thing, and I learned this playing sports. And anybody that knows anything about playing sports, is you learn this. It's one of the great part about. Huh?
No, go ahead.
The great part about sports is it's a merit based. And most of the time, it's merit based. If you've ever been in the military, you understand that once you get there, you're gonna want the best guy doing the job. In general, human beings want the best person doing the job. I don't want as many white people as black people. I want the best person doing the job. If I got an NBA team, I don't want them to have as many white dudes as black dudes, unless I'm the Lakers. For some odd reason, they white dudes can play. But in general, I'd rather have more black dudes. And nobody complains that we have 85% black dudes in the NBA. We don't have DEI so we can get some more white people. So since we don't do that, I think what we should do is have a merit-based society. Merit, and that's all it should be.
Hey, brother. No, I want to say, brother Cole Gates. He answered your question. That's why I didn't have to ask him the question. He seen it and he answered it. And I want
to ask another questions. He keeps sending you money to try and derail your show.
Yeah, I want to say to the people out there.
Ask me about having kids and making a fatherless America. I'm making fatherless kids. What he needs to do is talk. Here's what is funny. You hear all these people telling you I owe all this child support and got all these kids. Have you noticed there hadn't been one baby mama to come out to confirm any of this stuff?
Not one.
Dr. Umar's kids done came out and told on him.
Hold on, because we're going to get to that. I don't want you to jump ahead. I got that in my notes.
In general, as loud as I am and as big as I am.
Right. Not one. We ain't here one.
Tell me it just ain't happened. Them, they kids, they cousin, they mama, nobody in their family. But Negroes on the internet, they know.
Right. And I want to let y'all know right now, if y'all put little $2 in or $10 and expect me to ask the brother a disrespectful question, it's not going to happen. So I want you to know that. And I need my mods. I need my mods to be on point. You know, y'all know what comments to not allow and what to allow. Okay. And shout out to my captain in the building. Captain said, "Get him, Tommy. Get him, Tommy." So let me ask you, brother.
The mother of your baby's mama came out. Then show us the video. Go ahead. Let me see the video.
Yeah.
That's what I love, because I missed it.
Speak on Trump for us. Are you pleased with all he has? Are you pleased with all that he is doing in office, or do you regret your choice of picking Trump?
Donald Trump is doing what I elected him to do.
Go
I
ahead.
elected him to get rid of these illegals. He's sending them out. I elected him to drain the swamp and get rid of some of these people, the DEI programs. He did that. I elected him to cut down some of the pork in the government and the bureaucracies that just get paid a bunch of money, and the people that's up there working and don't need to be there, and he's doing that. He put out all of the JFK files. I'm happy about that. A lot of things that he's doing is exactly what I voted for. Here's what I don't like. People who didn't vote for him and didn't like him is just like your Colgate's fella. See, if we're Americans, once he's in office, now we should just judge him on what he does. But the majority of people complaining are people who didn't want him to be president anyway, just like Colgate's. Colgate's ain't came in here. Now, here's the thing. If I do the whole show and I say some things that are really good, you think Colgate's going to send some money and say that was really good? That was impressive. I like that. That made sense. No. So when you got people in the United States, what's happened is when I was young, it used to be you could hate somebody, but you didn't hate them for life. You disliked them, but if they were right, if they were a good train conductor, if they were a good pit, whatever it was, if they were good, you did that. You were able to separate your personal feelings from their job. And if you look at me, I will vote for the best candidate, not the Republican, not the Democrat, what I believe is the best candidate. I am not one-sided. I will sit here and shout out if a YouTuber I don't like says something that is correct. You know what I'll say? He was right. I'm not going to sit up there and try to find reasons to hate him. And most of the people on the left, the Democrats, are finding reasons to hate this man. They wanted this man to go to jail. These are the same people who want people to go to jail for they want Chris Brown. The same people want Chris Brown to not be able to perform because of what happened 20 years ago. These are the same people who have learned that now they can flag your stuff online so your voice can't be heard, instead of them saying, I don't want to hear it, but somebody else does. Let me not listen to it, because that's where I am. So if you're looking at this president, why don't you judge him on what you gave the previous president a pass for? That's the hardest thing to do. Judge the new person you're dating on what you gave the old person a pass for. If you gave them a pass for staying out late, I get to stay out late. If you gave them a pass for whatever it is, I should be able to do it. So judge Donald Trump on what you judged the man you was willing to vote for. Mr. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You voted for that still. You called Donald Trump racist because he put out an article in New York, and you were there at the time when he put out that them boys deserved to be. Black folks in New York felt the same way because they thought they did it too. He was not in the government, and you call him racist. But guess who was in the government? Hillary Clinton, Hillary's husband, and Joe Biden. And you know what they said on the floor of the Senate? Black men are predators, and they don't care how they grew up. They need to be jailed. Got us the 94 crime bill. Yet you still voted for that man. The same party gave you Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd, if you Google him, this man was one of the highest level Klans members ever. And guess who eulogized him? Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. So don't tell me these things. Judge me on what you let somebody else get away with. Judge Donald Trump on that. I guarantee you none of them have an argument at all.
What do you have to say about Elon Musk advising Trump, especially in light of his alleged Nazi salute?
It was not a Nazi. Well, okay, let me tell you two things. I did not see what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
That's I'm joking. Now, listen, what he did, that wasn't a Nazi salute. And even if it was, why black folks would be bothered? Nazis didn't have no problem with black folks.
Right.
Hitler went and shook Jesse Owens' hands. Jesse Owens said Hitler treated him better in Germany than white folks treated him back in America. That's Jesse Owens. Go look it up. How are we going to sit up here and be mad? When did Hitler do something to us? Tell me about them times Hitler put some black folks in the oven. Tell me about them times. Tell me about any of them times. No, he did it to them. So why would we have a problem with this man doing a Nazi salute? Didn't have nothing to do with us.
Right.
You know who telling you to do that? I can't tell you on your show because of where it's at. But we know who telling people to do that. tell you you're the enemy of my enemy? Well, no, it's not. I'm not. That is not my enemy. That's yours.
Damn.
I don't care if he did. I don't care if he wore the Nazi symbol. That's like, let me tell you the difference. The Nazi symbol, we know what it meant when it first was put out there. Same thing as the rainbow. Now I can't even wear a rainbow jersey because you're going to tell me that I'm sweet instead of it's the covenant that God gave with his people. So you done took something that was special and meant a whole lot to God-fearing people, and you done turned it into Hershey Highway people? Come on, man. So don't tell me about something that you have made it be a bad thing, and now I got to say it's a bad thing because you wanted to turn something that was good bad? No, I'm good.
There was a woman named, what was her name? There was a woman by the name of Tiana Williams, I think. Tiana Williams, who left her children in a car to die while she was in a casino.
Yep.
Should the father take any blame for that, or that's just her responsibility?
No.
With the children.
That's why you need to repeal the 19th. Women shouldn't vote. Listen to what you said. You're a man. I'm a man. If we had a crackhead baby mama and she left the kids with us, and we ended up letting the kids get drunk because we had the kids. We ended up letting the kids light fire to the whole house because we had them. We ended up, and the kids grew up to be prostitutes and work at a strip club and OnlyFans. Who would they blame? Would they blame the mother who wasn't there?
They would blame us. They would blame the man. They would blame us.
You only can blame who's in the house. And that's another reason why I don't think that women should be able to vote. And that's why I always talk about black women as horrible people, because they supposed to be goddesses. How you going to be a whole goddess? How you going to be a whole god? How you going to be a whole queen? But every time something go wrong, you blame somebody else. Last I checked, God don't blame nobody else. Queens don't blame nobody else. And goddess don't blame nobody else. Yet you do. You get all these titles. As soon as the baby grow up to be Shaq, what's the first thing black women say? I did it by myself. Don't need no man. Look, he's Shaq. Right. He sell crack. His daddy wasn't round. Oh, shoot, you got all the credit because he was something good. You get none of the blame if he's something bad. No, I don't do that. Who's ever there is, as a matter of fact, if you're a single mother, you have the ability to raise your kid to be super respectful towards women. But guess what most men will tell you who came out of single mothers' homes? That we learned the words, the B word, the 304 word, all these words. Guess who the first person we heard say it? We learned how to cuss from who? There wasn't no man in my house. How you think I got such a foul mouth? I got it from women. When you look online right now, who's the one that's out there cussing more than anybody? When you listen to them rap songs, who the one talk about sex more than anybody?
Facts. And hey, and keep it real. Talking the most nastiest lyrics.
Yes. They sound disgusting. Glorilla said that she was running through these N-words. How a woman run through men? When did that become a thing that a woman sleeping with a bunch of men is you running through them, not them running through you?
You know what I was watching last night? I came across this video. What's the sister name? What's her name? What's her name, man? She's the Brat sister. She's the Brat sister.
Oh, the one who's selling the wig.
She's the Brat sister. What's her name?
Y'all know, they'll say it in a minute. Because I think she's she was in a Diamond in Players Club.
Lisa Ray. Hey, I was watching this video, Tommy, and I didn't notice, but they were showing all of the men that she been with, and I couldn't believe it, brother. You'll be like, what the hell? This woman been with damn near everybody in the industry. I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck? Oh,
Umar was married to Tiana Taylor. I love her body, but her face like a bulldog. But anyway, he had a couple kids with her. Now she divorced him, took half of his money, and now she got a new boyfriend who is cheating on hit. So here's the thing, but let me know that's why women shouldn't be allowed to vote. You left your husband because he cheated. The man you're with now is cheating on his wife with you. So if you thought cheating was so wrong, why did you leave a stable family? The husband might have been cheating, but he was a stable family, to go get with a man that's openly cheating. Don't believe that happens? There's several women who you see. Cardi B left her husband, father of 3, to go get with a man who's cheating on her. But it's better to be a girlfriend than a wife. And that's what most black women are doing. They love being somebody's girlfriend. They love playing the streets. Well, Tiana Taylor was on a live on Instagram, bro. And this is what she said to end her Instagram. Why don't y'all let me get my back beat out in peace? This is the mother of 3 children who got on Instagram to say, why don't y'all let me get my back beat out in peace? They don't even talk, black women don't even talk about sex in a loving way. I remember I told a girl, I said, I want to make love to you. You know what she responded to me back in a text message? She said, we barely know each other. It won't be love. We'll be effing.
Yeah, they don't like the nice, sweet, romantic words. They don't like that no more.
Think
They
about
like
that.
the other stuff.
They
Yeah,
sound-
you know.
I got a saying. I said, black women ain't women no more. You know what they are?
They bees.
You supposed to say what? No, you supposed to say what?
What?
The men with vaginas, with a hard face. The men with vaginas,
You know,
all over the place.
yeah, I got caught saying that a few times. I would whisper in your ear and say, yo, let me make love to you. And they look at me like, make love to me. That's punk talk to them. That's punk soft talk. They don't want to hear no, let me make love to you.
Talking like this. A female saying she would rather hear the nastiest things possible.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Let me ask you, if a man doesn't want a baby, once he is informed of the pregnancy, should he have the right to never own and acknowledge the child? If he don't want it, but she still say, nah, I'm gonna have it, especially sneak and have it, go away and have it.
Yes. He should be able to cut ties and never have anything to do with that baby. They should never call a man who doesn't want to have anything to do, like the dude in the comment section, where you got kids, stupid stuff. So you're gonna try to make a man feel bad about having kids and you don't see him with his kids. But guess who we don't make feel bad about having kids and we don't see him with them? Women who abort their children. We don't talk about women who abort their children. Why not? They didn't listen what they didn't do. They didn't just walk away from them and leave them with somebody who loved them. No, they murdered them. But let's talk about the other women. There are women who give their children up, make them water the state. Remember when you sit up and watch Annie, you know what Annie was? A bunch of kids that had been orphaned. And the state take care of them. Now, you hope to find them a place to stay, but the state takes care of them. Guess who don't have to pay child support? The mothers who left them there. Women can now have children, leave them at a gas station, police station, hospital, anywhere, and not leave their name. So nobody even know who left this kid. And they will still take the kid and try to find it a family. And Colgate's ain't never went to none of them women and said, where's your baby at? Where's your baby? We don't do that. So she can just leave a kid. So if she decided, remember, last point, her body, her choice. So if it's her body, her choice, and we can't make a woman be a mother, then why is it a woman can force a man to be a father? He should have the right to have a financial abortion. And I guarantee you, if men had the right to say, I don't want to have anything to do with that kid, and you can't hound me for the rest of your life or the rest of my life about it, these women wouldn't be having these kids so willy-nilly to the point of where they got to go to the casino while they freezing in the car. Because if that woman wasn't getting government assistance, you see what they did to that woman? She complained about dead children. And what did they do? They gave her a house. When's the last time you seen a man who couldn't afford child support and was complaining about how hard his life was because he couldn't afford all the kids he went out and made, and they gave him a house? Go on. It's the same thing if the woman's complaining about how difficult it is because she laid down and had every one of them kids. And remember, it's easy for me to have a bunch of kids. I can lay down with 10 women right now tonight and get all 10 of them pregnant. For a woman to come up with 10 babies, you know what she got to do? Sleep with somebody, get pregnant, wait 9 months, go through all that birth, have one, and then do it again. So she can't even do it. It takes her at least every 11 months, and she end up with 5 kids. She should have known better. She had a whole bunch of downtime while she was pregnant to figure out this ain't a good idea. I can't afford these kids. She had a do it, and she did it. Still help her out financially. But you as a man, you go out and you were just having a good time. I wasn't trying to have no baby. You came up pregnant. I can't go to people and say, hey, I lost my license. I can't go work. I'm struggling to help take care of these kids. If I had a better job, I could spend more. I could pay more on child support. Do you think they're going to give you a house and a better job so you can actually pay your child support?
Hell no.
What do they do with you when you can't afford to pay your child support? What do they do to you?
They put your butt in jail. They'll put your butt in jail if they catch you. Or they'll garnish your check if you working. Either one. They're going to make
woman needs to have as many kids irresponsibly as she wants. And the law tells her. So you remember how you told me the law ain't doing it now? Yeah, it is. The law allows this woman to have children and helps her when she does it. So basically what the government does is help women to be irresponsible so they can then turn the cannon at the men.
Stacy said, Tommy Sotomayor speak a lot of facts that the general public can't take without the teaspoon of sugar. Great content. Thank you. Ed D, what is your thoughts on the dismantling of the educational department, Tommy?
Well, I like your audience. They're asking real questions, and they should have 100% dismantled it. Right now, if you look at what's happening, these teachers have run rampant with sleeping with the students. Every day you look at news, what do you see? Some woman sleeping with some students. You see that woman just had a gang bang with the students, made them wear the mask from Scream.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
You gotta see it, bro. It's wild. They did that.
Wow, damn.
You can't send your kids to these schools. When they go to the school, the kids are reading at the black kids are reading at a 4th grade level. What are they doing? Why would you keep funding these people? And then these teachers, and anybody that knows anything about the teachers unions, when they do something wrong, you got to go through so many things to fire them. It's crazy. So the Department of Education needs to be gone. And yes, it was a white woman, but guess who she was laying down with? White, black, and Latino kids. So she was ruining their minds. And how was she doing it to them? Because she knew a lot of them didn't have what? Stable households at home. They didn't have fathers and mothers, so to where it was something that they wouldn't do. A lot of what y'all don't realize is Democrat policies, when y'all think they're pro-black policies, no, they allow white people to prey on black folks, just like that teacher. Almost every Democrat policy allows white folks to prey on black folks.
All right, y'all.
Democrat should be the sellout.
Yeah, y'all see Captain Tazariak TV in the chat. Make sure y'all subscribe to Captain, because if y'all don't subscribe to him, every morning he's giving up that smoke. He's giving you that news. He's giving you the information that Tommy's talking about right now. So I don't know. I didn't hear Captain talk about the white school teacher yet. He probably did. I just missed it. I always be up in the morning to hear my brother, and he gets it in. So make sure y'all subscribe to him. He deals with the content now of what's going on today. So he definitely give y'all that news. Hit that link, subscribe to my Captain right quick.
I want to appreciate somebody. I think one of your, I can't tell, but I seen it gone. One of y'all moderators is getting that. I think they getting that Colgate's right on out of there because he ain't stopped. And they look like they get him out. I'm like, hey, let me tell you something. Captain Tazariak, everybody kept saying, and I think we've been at it. He can tell you how long we've been at it. They said me and him were going to be hating each other and dissing each other.
Yeah, they said y'all wasn't going to be a perfect match together.
Yeah. And didn't realize that once you get two men together, men can disagree, but typically the one thing that men want is autonomy to be able to do their own thing, and they want peace because they don't want you messing with their child. They don't want you selling drugs to their son. They don't want you getting their daughter pregnant. They don't want their son going to jail. After a certain amount of time, our ideologies are the same. Men want to protect their women, keep you from getting into bed with their women, and protect our children and be able to provide. And so it don't matter if you're pro-black, FBA, Nazi, or a white supremacist. Have you noticed when men get together, they typically can agree, stay out my yard and I stay out yours?
Mm-hmm.
They thought that we were going to be like them, raised by women, so we'd be looking for reasons to argue. But let me tell you the thing about two big men that's big and strong. You know what they look for? Reasons to team up, not reasons to fight each other. Because after a while, they start realizing, wait a minute, we the two strongest people here. We can rule over all the rest of them people.
Right,
and we the two strongest people here. Of course, they're cheering for us because they want us to beat each other up.
Well, I knew you and Tommy, you and Captain would get along because Captain has pretty much the same thoughts that you have when it comes to the black woman.
But they're actual, again, but they're facts. Again, nobody can say what I've said is wrong, even till now. The people who are sitting there arguing with me, you're not arguing that I said something that's incorrect. So what are you arguing? Your feelings? Well, I don't know you. Why would you watch me and think that I'm supposed to make you feel better about delivering a fact? Do you know doctors said that one of the hardest people they have to tell what they need to do and what they got going on with their bodies and stuff was black women? So everybody else, they come in and tell them, you got cancer, you need to lose about 30 pounds, whatever. And they accept, okay, doc.
Yep.
Black woman, no. Who you telling they overweight? Oh my God. So they are afraid to tell them things that they need to know. And that's the saddest part about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have a group of people that want to be told what they want to hear, as if the person who's speaking knows exactly what they want to hear. And that's why y'all get Dr. Umar Johnson calling y'all queens.
Damn. That's facts.
I ain't doing them like Dr. Umar doing them.
I seen the show with you and Captain Tazariak did on Umar, but I didn't get to see it all. So, yeah, I'm gonna go try to.
You should have seen the one I did on my. Remember, I ain't on YouTube.
Right.
My video went viral because everybody on YouTube took my video and wanted to make a reaction video out of it.
Yeah, look at that.
You can't never tell me I ain't relevant.
Right, exactly, man. That's what they do to me too. They do that to me too. And some people will use your name because they have no content without you.
That's right.
So they got to use your name. And instead of giving credit to you, because they making money, they able to feed their children because they talking about you. They able to feed their babies because they talking about you. And it's this particular woman that she can't do nothing without talking about me. I'm talking about making videos online without putting my name in the title, bro. And they getting paid off of that. You know, it's just crazy to me. Trump is very strict about abortion law and known for having Roe versus Wade overturned. How can you support Trump and also be pro-choice?
I ain't pro-choice.
Oh, you ain't pro-choice?
No, I said if they're going to be able to kill kids, they should allow men to be able to have a financial abortion. If you want the right to be able to off a kid, then the man should be able to have the right to have a financial abortion as well. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. But I look at it and say, you know what they tell a man when we get them pregnant, if they want to keep it, notice what they say to us. You need to man up, take care of your responsibility. Well, shouldn't they have to man up, woman up, and take care of their responsibilities when they come up pregnant? Why do they have options and we don't?
Mm-hmm.
So if he got rid of Roe and y'all got to say it correctly, he didn't get rid of Roe versus Wade. He put it back in the hands of the states where it's supposed to be. So if they don't have Roe versus Wade in your state, guess what happened? Guess what happened? It's because your people voted to not have it. The states. This is where it's supposed to be. It shouldn't be a federal law. It should be a state law. Every state should be able to govern itself.
I am Hakeem. I go to Tommy's GoFundMe and donate. That's cool. Shout out to you.
Thank you, brother.
That's cool. Let me ask you, what is your opinion of Dr. Umar's daughter exposing him?
First off, I live in a land where a man by the name of Bishop Eddie Long was able to still go around sleeping with little boys. And after they found out he was doing it, black women still supported him, because when he got up in church, he called them queens. He told them it's your baby daddy's fault. He told them they was the best thing in the world. Because like what you said to me at the beginning when we talked, I said, who's the biggest supporters? Women. That's why they don't say anything good to men. That's why he always talking about bunny hopping, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Why he don't have no saying for black kings for life. No man that's white. There you go, Dr. Umar. We know you watching or listening. If you ain't, then somebody need to play it to him. Why you don't have a saying that says black kings for life, no man that's white? You don't have that, though. You only talk to the women because they know the women are gullible. It is the same thing the devil did. If you women cared and loved God at all, y'all would know that any man that bypassed your man and came to you to talk, it is the devil. From day one, the devil bypasses your man and comes right to you. Dr. Umar Johnson bypasses the men and comes and talk right to you. Puts up pictures of him holding you, always talking about the queens, and now when he do the shows, he up there like a thought, blinking his eyes and taking the pictures like this before he say a word for 5 minutes. Then while he talking, what does he say? You women, you're my queens, my beautiful black chocolate queens. I'm in town. Why don't you come through and give Big Papa Pan Pizza, the Prince of Pan Pizza, come through and give me whatever it is. And you men sit up there and think it's cool to listen to this man tell these women in every city to come do something with him? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing, fellas? Because he get to tell y'all all the women in every city he come to go do something. They go do it. But doing the women, because they're not smart, because women all just want to be with whoever they think is popular. If you popular, they all sleep with you. Why you think Future got so many kids? In the black community, most people don't realize.
You said who got so many kids? Future?
Future, the rapper.
Yeah, I didn't know that. How many kids he got?
I think Future got like 11.
Damn. More than Kanan, right?
Huh?
More than Kanan? Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon. All those women have always been attracted to men with money and power. So, and you can look at all of them. Did you know that there are twice as many black women with children than black men?
Wow.
So that tells you what? It tells you that they're sleeping with the same guy.
Yeah.
Black women will get a baby by a man that already got a bunch of babies. They don't have no problem with that. And then make fun of the other guy and call him an incel. You know, an incel means that a guy is involuntarily celibate. Means he wants to sleep with women, but they won't sleep with him. So black women brag about how often a man gets sex. So they want to be the next to sleep with him. So you look at Dr. Umar Johnson. And Dr. Umar Johnson is telling that lie to be able to sleep with women and be able to live off those women, as all they do is they're the ones who donate. You got kids when he started talking about he was going to start a school. There was people was pregnant when he said he was going to start that school. They kids in college now. That's how long there ain't no school. And why is it that we going to have one school in the country for black folks, but everybody around the country sending money to that man for that one school? That don't make no sense. But they know they can't sell that to no man, but they can sell it to some dumb women. Why? Because the women didn't work to get the money. Men work to get money, and it's hard to get money out of them because we know how hard it was for us to get it. Men, tell me if I'm lying. We know we had to go to work an 18-hour shift just to get that check. It's going to be hard to get me to put this money in somebody else's pan in their hand for nothing. But a woman, she knows she got that check from the government. She got that check from her baby daddy. She got that check from a GoFundMe. She got that check. She did not work for that money. Somebody gave it to her. Matter of fact, black women so lazy, if you go and get on their OnlyFans now, she'll be sitting up there with her clothes off, smoking a blunt and looking at her phone. Ain't twerk, ain't jumped up and popped that Coachy, ain't put no, you know, them white girls, they work for theirs. Black, somebody tell me I'm lying. I know all y'all don't go to OnlyFans. Matter of fact, none of y'all go to OnlyFans. But if you did, what did you see? You seen a black chick sit up there just looking at her phone, smoking and texting for the whole live. She don't work. So when a person don't work, you know what they do? They give away their money because they don't value it. Did you know that black women spend 80% of all the money they have? They only say, that's why black women are only net worth $5. They're the brokest group in the United States. They're the most evicted. Like, I'm not making it up. Look it up. Tell me I'm lying. They're the most evicted because they're irresponsible with the money. Because anybody you give something is going to be irresponsible with it because they don't value it. So that's why Dr. Umar and all these other, remember, it ain't just Dr. Umar, wasn't it Derek Jackson? Didn't Derek Jackson do the same thing? Tell black women how great they was so he could sleep with all of them?
Now, you know, I never been on or seen OnlyFans. What's the name of that again?
You know, you better quit playing.
No, I never. No, I've heard about it so much, but I've never seen it. I know. I got an idea, but is it somewhere you pay? You pay for that or something? You got to pay to get on there.
Women in there having sex, and whatnot, and sometimes they'll go live. Like how we going live? But they're supposed to when they go live. When like if there's a black girl, just go look up her name, Miss B Nasty. When Miss B Nasty go live, she black. Whoa, you get your money's worth.
Have you ever
Nasty take her job seriously? But she sound and act like a white chick though. She's black, but she's like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. Like when I do these shows, you get your money's worth when I do a show. I don't go nowhere.
I thought they took that down.
No,
at one point. Have you ever bumped into a woman on that you knew, that you seen before?
Oh, I bump into several of
them. Okay. All right, I see it.
You can see it now, but listen, the point is, if you're gonna do a job, do it well. Black women, when you hire them to be customer service representatives or working as they work at your table and serve you, y'all tell me if I'm lying. The worst customer service you get is from black women. But why did they take the job if they're gonna give you bad customer service? If you don't like people, why did you take a job where you got to deal with people? Because black women like being irritating. Have you noticed everything about them is tied? We tied. We ain't gonna do. They talked about the election after they lost. What did black women say? We tired of trying to save the United States. We not gonna be doing nothing no more. We gonna be doing our fingernails. So every time y'all bring up what Donald Trump do wrong, we gonna say, what's for dinner? They talked about they were gonna be done. They ain't gonna try to help save America. Tell me the thing that black women saved. You can't even save your family. You can't even keep a baby daddy around. How you gonna save a country? They've done nothing. And then Dr. Umar Johnson knows this. He knows that you got to. Do you understand? They got mad yesterday because a Mexican chick said, "It's a lot of chicks who hate on me. So what I want to do is have the real hair challenge." That's all she tweeted. She didn't say black women. She nothing. She just said, "I want to see your real hair." Black women got mad about that. They said she racist. They said we shouldn't let her in the culture. You wear weave too. So what? They literally were going off on this girl. She never said black women. They said, we know she talking about us. I said, well, wait a minute. Every time I talk about weave, y'all swear up and down white women wear weave too. So why would you now say she's directly talking about black women? If white women wear weaves, why didn't white women get mad? White women should have been saying, oh, how dare you talk about weaves? But they didn't. Only people got mad was you. And what you could do is stop wearing the weave so no one can make fun of you and they couldn't make billions of dollars off you every year. But instead, you'd rather have people pretend they don't see you sitting up there looking like Chewbacca with hair that don't match your nose and lips.
Right. Would you ever support Umar Johnson even though he dragged black men to pander to black women for years?
No, I would never support Dr. Umar Johnson. He the Prince of Pan Pizza. I don't support the devil. He lies. The only way he can exist is to lie. And I don't like people who the only thing they can do is lie and leech off others. There's a reason why Batman ain't black. You know why?
Why?
Because we too busy robbing.
Funny, Robin.
Hey, we the only people that believe that the way you live the lifestyles and rich and famous is to rob and leech.
I get it.
Robin Leach.
I get it. I know. I get it. I forgot that you.
I'll be here all week.
Yeah, I forgot you also was trying out to be a comedian, right?
No, I wasn't trying out. I was doing it. Sold out every show I did.
There you go. Because I think I seen something on there where you was, let me ask you, do you think Umar Johnson will ever get that school? Because he's still taking donations and black women is still giving them. You said, yeah.
No, listen, the school's never going to get built, but he's going to keep doing it. The thing to get the black folks to stop doing, the girl who her child and her baby daddy got shot and unalived, the rapper, Lil Ronnie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The baby's mama had no problem starting a GoFundMe and received almost $60,000. And then at the end of it, she was on camera with a stack full of cash talking about her baby gonna get buried in Gucci and Prada, and you hoes is hating. We the only people who can't stop giving people, either black women, because like right now, sa.neter, you could say, hey, I'm trying to do something for some boys. Nobody will say a word. But if you say black women are queens and you love black women and black men need to step up, your money will go where it needs to go. Right now, there are women who are just online sitting there playing video games. There are guys who build video games and all kind of stuff. Guess who gets more views? The guy who builds it and shows you how to do everything you need to do, or the chick who sits there in her bra and panties and play the video game and don't even do it well. She does. So Dr. Umar Johnson's not stupid. He knows the way of the world. And he knows if he keeps women around him, men will come because the men want to be around where the women are. And you keep women around you by telling them a lie, not the truth. Women are the only people who sit around each other and do this, and you tell me if I'm lying. A woman will have a friend and you could tell this girl done gained 20 pounds. Instead of telling her she gained 20 pounds, she'll say, girl, you look like you lost 5 pounds. And when she does it, the girl who knows she weighs 20 pounds heavier because she knows she stepped on the scale, what will she say? Thank you. So you gonna lie to this woman. This woman hears what she knows is a lie and says thank you instead of saying, girl, that's a lie. These are the same women who paint their faces and you done seen them without makeup. They'll get on pictures with these makeup and it'll be a comment section full of women telling her how nice her butt look, how nice her chest look, and how nice her face look. She knows her butt was done. She knows her breast ain't real, and she knows she don't look like that without that makeup on. She'll tell her how pretty she is, and the girl will sit there in the comment section and be like, thank y'all, thank y'all. A man would never in his life put a sock in his pants, walk out in the street, another man walk up to him and be like, oh boy, you bulging today. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Or put some paper in your wallet, fold it up. It's obviously white paper. And you look at him and be like, oh, brother, you paid, shouty. And he'd be like, yeah, we wouldn't do this. You can't lie to me. If I got 3 inches, you can't tell me I'm hung. I know I'm not. You can't tell me I got a 6-pack. I don't. I wish a woman would tell me you got a 6-pack. I heard a girl tell me you got an old man butt. I said, yes, I do. I said, when I was young, I had a nice one, but I'm an old man now. I got that long one now. Everything, I'm just old. But she told me the truth. I didn't get mad. I would get mad if she had told me I got a 6-pack. I do not. Right. And women wonder why that don't work. You can't tell Lil Wayne he handsome. He laugh. Lil Wayne don't think he handsome. He doesn't think that he get women because he handsome. He don't need to be told that lie. Women do. Women need to be lied to. That's right. The problem.
Mm-hmm. Yo, do you think Umar Johnson will ever change his rhetoric, which always the rhetoric of always excusing black women's behavior?
I just told you no, because they pay and they like lies.
That's fact.
His consumers like lies and they pay to hear them. Yes. They pay you to pretend that hair on their head don't look silly as they walk around with it. But if you and I did the same thing, sa.neter, stuck on Tom Cruise's hair right now and glued it down and played in it throughout the show, playing in a blonde hair, looking like Donald Trump, they would laugh at us. But we ain't supposed to laugh at them for doing the exact same thing.
What is your thoughts? The 13th Truth asked the question, Tommy, what are your thoughts on Tariq Nasheed FBA?
It's just another movement to try and separate people. Tariq Nasheed learned from the occultist novel. And what do occults mean? Occults do the same thing that Umar Johnson is doing, the same thing that Jim Jones did. What you do is create a group. You tell them they're God's people. They're better than everybody else. And these other people are hurting you, and turn your anger and ire towards them. It's the same thing the Klan was. The Klan was, hey, those blacks are getting your jobs. It made people feel good. You gave them a target. And then here's what Tariq Nasheed is telling these people. FBA is delineating at first it was so we can get our reparations. But Tariq talks like a pimp and a preacher. Let me explain. A pimp and a preacher does what? They tell you one day you're going to have it all. but you got to give it to me so I can have it now. A preacher will have a nice car because of the money you gave him directly. He will have a nice house because of the money you gave him directly. But he'll tell you when you die, you're going to have everything that he got right now when you get to heaven. Well, why I can't have it right now, sir? Tariq does the same thing. He tells them one day y'all going to get reparations. Today I'm rich. That doesn't make any sense. What is he doing? They don't do anything. They just sit around and call people names. When he was pro-black, I was crispy. He always called people dusty. How you going to call people dusty? Well, telling people they dusty and broke makes him feel closer to white because black folks like white folks. That's why we think all white people rich, even though there are plenty of broke white folks. We think all white folks got good credit. We think white people's lives is easy. That's why we will listen to a white person tell us something before a black person. Notice if a black person give a black person financial advice, they'll pick through that. But if a white person give black person financial advice, they'll accept it when he say it. Notice white doctors will have you ask less for a second opinion than a black one. We trust a white lawyer before a black one. That's why when we get in trouble, we hire a white one. My grandmother used to say, black folks believe that white ice is colder. And she was right. We view people who are close to whiteness. And what Tariq Nasheed does, he does no different than a racist white man does. Look at what he posts every day on his Twitter. He posts black folks with big lips, big teeth, black folks who look bummy, impoverished. He posts black folks' food that they're eating. He makes fun of foo-foo. He makes fun of everything that's black. He's always done it because he plays for the insecurity of blacks. Because ain't no way none of y'all would have been pro-black letting that man sit up there and call me crispy black. But you ain't pro-black. You want to be just like white people. You offended by blackness as well. That's why you call each other nappy-headed. That's why you call each other big nose and big lips. You call each other names about things that are black before a white person ever would. The first person called me Blackie wasn't white. The first person called me Midnight wasn't white. So why is it that we use the same, even the word, the coon, raccoon, that is the white word. Why does he use these words against black folks? Because we are, the FBAs aren't nothing but, I call them honorary Nazis, not Nazis, but honorary racist, honorary KKK. Just listen to one of his shows. He makes fun of you driving Uber. You just come over here to drive Uber. He talked crap about regular working people. And at the end of it, when he's saying we need to delineate, he now praising this American flag. But remember, when I used to have this American flag behind me, he told y'all I was a coon because I had the flag. He told y'all I was a coon because I voted for Donald Trump the first time. This is the same man that's now told y'all FBA and that whole FBA movement. Anybody that's ever watched me, tell me if I'm lying. I said word for word, I said, black folks need to stop trying to claim Africa and anything else. Our connection is American. And that's why I always had the American flag behind me because I said, we're American. He said I was a coon for saying that. Now he's saying the same thing. And that's why I don't like a lot of black folks, because black folks do what? When I said it, they had a problem with it. But when somebody they like says the exact same thing I said, they'll sit there and be like, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Said it was a problem.
Yeah, Miss Nicole, you too much, Miss Nicole. I'm not even going to put that comment up on the screen, man. You funny. I ain't never knew that Miss Nicole funny, man. Miss Nicole. Let me ask you, Tommy. Do you think child support is necessary? Although the government system need to be changed. Do you think it is necessary though?
I think child support should only exist for married women who get divorced. Child support shouldn't exist. If he had a child. That's why I said earlier, I said he should not have to pay you a dime if he don't want to. There should not be. But and here's the thing that every year women have voted it down. Let me ask you, why do you think women vote this thing down? Let me tell you what it is. Making DNA test at the birth of a child mandatory. Why do you think women vote that down? I want all y'all to think about it. Y'all say that I talk bad about black women because I don't like myself. which doesn't make sense because I'm not a black woman. So how could I not like myself? And I want all you men to understand, why is it that women tell you you hate yourself when you talk about them? You've never heard somebody talk about black men. You never heard a black woman date a white man and they told her she hate herself because she won't date black men, that they say she hate her daddy. Why is it that when you say something trying to correct them, they will turn and say you hate yourself and hate your mama? Because they believe you love your mama and won't criticize your mama because your mama is God, and they become junior gods because they like your mama. When you start telling me I should date black women because my mama's black, well, my mama's also old too. So should I date an old woman? My mama's also fat. So should I date a fat woman? What you're saying makes no sense. But you have turned me into some type of, I don't know, incestuous figure by comparing what you do today in 2025 to what my mother did back in 1965. And that don't make no sense.
Hey, what do you think that is, Tommy? When I was younger, I like women that was my build. Now I'm a little older. I kind of like chunky fat woman, man. What is that?
Listen, we all no, everybody has their thing.
I like the little fat chunky things out there.
I like cellulite on a woman now. I done got old and seen, and they got old with me. So I used to didn't like no cottage cheese. Now I don't see nothing wrong.
I'm telling you, it's a lot difference now. A lot. Y'all better stop squatting on them the little chunky girls out there.
What they like. That's the problem with women. Men know that women like different men. That's why we don't all try to be the same man. If you watch women,
exactly.
If you look at the pictures of them, they all look the same. They all got them stupid baby hairs on their head. They got the same dumb enclosure. When they taking their pictures, they always playing and they weave. They're doing the same thing. They're talking the same way. They become like a factory. That's why when they claim white women be trying to get bodies like ours, wait a minute, you the one who died of surgery more than white women. White women ain't out here dying of getting butt implants. You are. But I will say this, whatever it is you like, you should be allowed to like what you like. There are men who I like women with really big nipples. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've always liked them big nipples. It's just about the length of this mic. I love it. I like when they have these big areolas. I like it. I make fun of saggy breasts, but I don't like breasts that's set up like this. I like them when they sag. I don't know. Everybody got things they like.
All right, too much.
Women, somebody like, that's what I'm saying. So we need to, whatever you like, I would never complain that you like chunky women. Fat women need love too. They just got to pay.
Right. That's it. Funny, man. You funny. So we talked about the child support. So you're saying that they just need the system need to change. Okay. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, I believe that if you got to set limits, we got to start back setting limits and goals for people. And one of the goals need to be family. But government is not going to set a goal for people to have families because government been wanting to tear up families. One of the easiest way, what does the Bible say? The best way for the marauder to come take over the house. He got to bind the strong man first, don't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Bible tell you. So therefore, it is true that the devil did not talk to Adam. He bypassed Adam.
Yeah, I forgot your mother. So of course you know the Bible a little bit.
Yeah, I know it back and forth, but I also know. To me, it's not just one theology because I know my way around a lot of books. I also know my way around a lot of philosophers. I take in all things. Like I will listen to anything that makes sense. Like you'll hear me quote a lot of things, even Hitler's Mein Kampf. I'll quote it because there's some things in there that make sense. If you look at it, they have to get rid of the man first. If you look at gangs in the United States, Bloods and Crips, you know who they recruit from?
Who?
Fatherless households. They don't go and try to recruit the son. They don't try to recruit members when there's a father in the house.
Right.
But when there's no father, they know they can recruit those kids. You know who the Al-Qaeda was recruiting as well over in the Middle East?
What?
Kids without fathers. Because they wanted to be a part of something. Because
that's why they see young kids all in there and with them guns and all that.
Look at what all these pedos were doing. You look at what Dr. Umar Johnson, how he started. You know what he said? He said he was a counselor and a psychologist. And
yes,
he said, if your kids are not doing well, bring your kids to me and let me talk to them. Well, ain't no man gonna take his son to talk to another man. Guess who was doing it? Women.
Yeah. Ain't no man gonna want another man raising his son. Hell no.
None.
You're a
There's
man.
no man that's doing this. There's no man saying, hey, Dr. Umar, here's my daughter. Go in there and talk to her for 3 hours while I go home.
Yeah, right. What is your take on black women saying that they are done supporting black men who have been unalived by white people?
I always laugh at again, I told you, black women can't get their hair to grow the way they wanted to. I wouldn't trust nothing that group of people say. You can't change your hair. You got to go and take hair off of a corpse and put it on your head. You up there dumpster diving in the sewage to get hair to put on your head. You want to say that you ain't going to support men anymore? Let me give you one of these men. I'm going to give you the name of some men. Let me tell you how they supported them. George Floyd. Did black women support George Floyd?
Yeah, right.
Okay. If a woman's supporting you, if you struggling, she helps you, right? That's what support
you mean
is.
when George Floyd was alive, you mean?
No, that's my point. See, they march for you when you dead.
Yeah. Right.
How is that support? Because when he was alive, George Floyd was having to do corn. I can't say the word. I caught myself. He was doing corn with the P, though. He was doing that to help trying to pay his bills. So they weren't helping him then. Trayvon Martin, were they helping him when he was alive? No. They weren't doing anything to any of the people they marched for when they were alive. And as a matter of fact, when they died,
Martin didn't do nothing wrong. He was just walking.
They did nothing wrong. I'm saying they claim that they won't march. They won't support you. I'm dead. What are you doing for me? I'm literally dead. If you were supporting me, I would have never been in position to do that anyway. It would have never happened. If you were a better mother, a better girlfriend, a better sister, a better anything, I would have gotten your support while I was alive. Why I got to worry about if you black men listen to this threat and take it seriously, I won't support you when a cop unalives you. You won't be able to support me anyway because I'm gone. All you do is go on your Twitter, yell at white folks, call it racist, and get more views on your channel and more money from AdSense. So what you're doing is helping yourself. They don't help black men. What they do is use it as an opportunity. Black Lives Matter got rich. Black men that got unalive didn't.
Like the video. Thumb up the video. Yes.
Women got paid off your death. So they're lying when they say they won't march for you, because if black women didn't march for black men when they died, they wouldn't even get nobody pays black women attention unless they arguing about something. I'm not even trying to be funny. No, that's why they argue about something daily, because no one pays them attention if they don't.
Please keep in mind YouTube guidelines when I ask you this last question.
Okay.
Why do you have a problem with the term homophobic and trans homophobic?
Well, because I'm a student of words, and I think that a lot of what's happened to black folks is we don't know what words mean. And that's how they get us in the legal system, because words matter. I'm a student of words, and I know homo, same, phobic, fear, irrational fear. I don't know anybody that has an irrational fear of gay people. If I don't like their lifestyle, that doesn't mean I fear them. I don't have an irrational fear of pedophiles. I'm not afraid of them, but I will speak out against them. I don't have an irrational fear of weave, but I will speak about it. It's just another thing that a lot of people do, just like that word coon or self-hate or all these words. They try to shame you into not feeling the way you feel about it. Let me say that again for the people in the back. They try to shame you into not feeling the way that you feel. See, when you say you like big women, everybody accepts that. When you say you like small women, well, then now you're a fat phobe or you're a body shaming. When you say you like light-skinned women, you're a colorist. When you say you like dark-skinned women, they say you a down brother. How am I not a colorist if I like dark-skinned women? That's a color. Why is it okay to like dark-skinned women, but not okay to like light-skinned women? Doesn't make sense. People use words to shame you out of using logic. And that's where we are now. That's why you had a bunch of them crazy people in the comment section talking crap about me before I said a word, because you know what they don't want? That's why they flagged me off of YouTube. Don't nobody deliver you the truth like I do. Nobody does. I do it in a funny way, and I make you think. And they realized too many people were listening to me. Even the people who hated me couldn't stop listening, so they needed to get rid of me. Let me explain something to you, sir. King Von, where's King Von at?
He's passed away.
FBG Duck, where's he at?
He was also murdered.
And yet their YouTube channel still exists, and they were talking about murdering other black people, and ain't no black tried to get it banned, but they tried to get me banned and successfully banned me. And remember what I'm supposed to be. I'm a coon that works for the white man. Well, YouTube
Say those two names again. Say those two names again you just said.
FBG Duck. And King Von.
Now, what I'm gonna show you, hold up.
Murdering black people are still there.
What I'm gonna show you is that history have a way of repeating itself. Biggie and Tupac.
But what my point is, they love black folk. And I'm supposed to be a coon. By the word of coon, shouldn't they be coons? Anybody that sells drugs to another black person should be a coon. Anybody that pimps out a black child should be a coon. Anyone that murders a black person should be a coon. Anyone that steals from a black person, anyone that does any of these things should be a coon. If a black person stole from me right now, people would laugh and say, he took your stuff. He punked you. Well, that's what white people did to you when they had you enslaved. They punked you. So quit asking for reparations. You just got punked. Deal with it like you expect people in the hood to deal with it when they get robbed. Am I lying? But again, they got rid of me from a white man's platform, and I'm supposed to be the one spitting words that white men and white women like. Yet the one who's telling you he's selling drugs, he pimping your women, and he murdering your boys, y'all cheer for them, and their videos, even after they've taken each other's lives, is still up with them cussing and talking about taking each other's lives. They've let back all kinds of people back on YouTube. Guess who they will not let back on YouTube? Me. You don't know nobody got no permanent ban like that.
Have you ever tried it? Have you ever tried to come back?
Yeah, every time I do something that's my own, they get rid of it. And think about it. I haven't called one person to murder themselves or anybody else. All I've done is cause black people to think. Because even when you hate me, and this is what's so good about my words, that's why other black people don't want my words to be spoken. Because you hate me. There's this little thing that when you get through watching me, it keeps my words in your head. They ring. That's why I've been doing this since 2009. How am I still relevant?
Something, and it's not to be an offense to you, but I'm gonna say this: Cynthia G is the opposite of Tommy Sotomayor, and we need y'all to. No, listen, hear me out. We need y'all.
But I was just shaking my head. I was going to explain to you why she's not, but go ahead.
We need y'all to. You go hard on the black woman when she's wrong. She go hard on the black man. That's what I mean when I say the opposite of
and
you.
Notice they gave her channel back. She's monetized.
Yeah, she's back. I seen her interview Umar Johnson's daughter.
She's back. She's monetized. But let me point something out to you. She's not the opposite
what
of
me. What do you think about what I said? Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you why she's not the opposite of me. But she should exist. I've never been one to call for her to be blocked. If people want to hear something, it's just like when they flagged Dr. Umar Johnson's, I guess they did it. I don't know what happened to it, but his Cash App is gone. Apparently they flagged it, but I don't know. Cash App might have taken it away because they realized what he was doing. This might have had nothing to do with black folks flagging him. But they took it away from him, and I think anybody should be allowed to be able to do whatever, because I don't blame the leader. I always blame the followers, because without the followers, none of the leaders would exist. You wouldn't have had Jim Jones be able to get rid of all those people in Guyana if it wasn't for them being stupid enough to want to follow this white man around with shades on. Right. That was their fault. It wasn't his, it was theirs. He did not force them to follow him. They did. Okay, that being said, you look at what she does. What she does is say things about black men, and that ought to let you black men know. Apparently, it's okay to say things about black men. It's fine to say things about black men. It's fine to say they need to be unalived. It's fine to call them bullet bags. It's fine for her to tell you that they need to get a white man. But while she was telling you need to get a white man, she got knocked up by one of them Dusties she always talk about. She had a baby by a Dusty with 6 kids when he met her. How did that happen? These people are saying things they do not believe, but they have the right to say it. But I'm not her, because everything I say, I believe. Look at how long I've been doing it. Have you seen anybody? By now, a gay man should have came out and said something about me. By now, it should have been somebody somebody should have came from my high school and told you he was lame back in high school. He couldn't get no women. Somebody from my family should have came out and said he never used to talk like this before. Do you understand that the only thing happened to me was a camera was put in front of me? I am who I am on this microphone when I'm off of it. These words I've spoke, I didn't get them to try and go viral. They were who I was. There's people come on my show, friends from college will tell you, he always spoke like this. It would offend people, but I just got to the point where I said, wouldn't they do better if I told them the truth? She's not telling you the truth. She's telling you the white man is better for black women than the black man is. That's fine. They should be allowed to get them a white man. What is the problem? They never show you or talk about the white man they got. They just sit there and talk about black men. That doesn't make sense. How is it you're going to tell me black men are such a bad thing, and then you got them, and while you got them, there's no white man interested in you at all? So you're not at least saying, hey, I got one, and the reason I got one is this. The reason I'm saying everything that I'm saying is because I really do love black women. I think they're the most beautiful women on the planet. But there's a reason why you've never seen me dating one with a wig. Will I lay with one? Sure, I'll do that. You've never seen me in a relationship.
What is it?
Just because I can afford steak don't mean I don't eat McDonald's.
Yeah, but what is it about the woman in the wig, though?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's teaching your children to have the same insecurity, and I don't believe in passing down insecurity to your children. Mm-hmm. My daughter, I remember I told the story. My daughter, she was in 4th grade, I think. She was 4 years old, getting ready to go to preschool, and she came out and she was crying, and her mother and I were in the car, and she asked her a simple. Her mother asked her, "Why are you crying, Alex?" And Alex said, "Because her hair ain't like," I forgot the little white girl's name now. She said, "Because that girl got pretty hair and she don't have pretty hair." And her mother said, "You have pretty hair. It's unique, but it is beautiful." And my daughter looked at her and said, "You don't have hair like mine." Her mother had on a wig. So this little black child goes into a school with white people and already feels insecure. Comes home and doesn't understand why my hair ain't like how mama's hair is, blonde and straight. And my hair ain't like the student in school, blonde and straight. And from that day, I told her mother to take that thing off, don't put it back on. And from that day, her mother has never worn one. And from that day before, I've never dated anyone, because I think it is messed up that we are giving our kids insecurities when the first thing we need to give our children is positivity and encouragement. We need to give them something that makes them feel like when we walk out the house, because it's the same thing a man wants from his wife, ain't it? I know I got to go and fight the world, but I don't want to fight the world at home.
But guess what, though, Tommy? See, you missing the big point, the big part. And I see your comment, Moses. We're gonna ask him in a minute. You missing the big part and the origin of it. See, the black woman started wearing the wig and started perming her hair with the comb. Hold on. Started perming her hair. You know where I'm going, because the black man in the 60s was going crazy over that white woman with that long straight hair. He loved to put his hands through that hair. Hold on, let me finish. And so the black woman seen that she needed to do something about her hair, because this black man is just gloating over this white woman. And so that's why Madam C.J. Walker said, you know what? I need to create this hot comb. I need to come out with a hot comb, and we're going to perm his hair. That was done before the 60s. Yeah, that was done before the 60s. But look at it. It was because of us, though, Tommy. So it all comes back to the black man. We was drooling over them white women with that long hair, because we was talking about how nice it was that our black women sisters seen us putting the hair over our face and rubbing it all in it, and they saw that. And so they said, we got to compete with them. And so now I think it'll be. I respect what you said, and I agree with everything you said. But I think it got to be a different. It got to be a different.
Very easily.
But hold on, it got to be a different. It got to be a different approach the way you teach it. Like right now, the way you did that.
Don't let me respond to what you're saying.
I'll let you respond right now. 10 seconds. The way you just broke it down, I think that's the way you should present that to the sisters. I think they can accept that better than, oh, look at you. You know the way you go in on it. But go ahead, I'll pass the mic.
First off, they should be able to accept that I say you look better naturally than not naturally. That's the most pro-black thing you can say, sir. No one should be arguing that, oh, in the 60s when I wasn't born, I believe you're saying what you believe. Well, let me tell you what I know. There's a young boy by the name of Emmett Till. And Emmett Till was murdered. And he was murdered because he just whistled at a white woman. He didn't do anything else. His friend said, yes, that's what happened. He was murdered. So don't tell me that black men in the 60s was going crazy over white women, because if we touched one, we lost our lives. But guess who was going crazy over whites? The same black woman who used to lay up in the bed with the slave master, produce a half-breed kid, and call that black half-breed kid a house Negro. And that house Negro got to be in the house. That house Negro got to go to school and get an education. A lot of times that house Negro got to get his own or her own slaves. Many of those house Negroes were white passing the women and ended up being able to marry white men. So guess what black women were proud of? Do you think they were proud of the child they had with me, who had the broad nose, the black skin, and had to go work in the fields? Or the child they had with Massa, who had a chance to work in the house and go to school? Which ones did they have more pride in? The light-skinned one. And guess who went in the Loving case, where they went to the Supreme Court while Emmett Till was being murdered? They went to the Supreme Court begging the white man to change the laws so they can marry a white man. Don't tell me that lie. We didn't turn around and try to be the white man when we realized that Diane Carroll was on TV laid up with a white man in the 70s, when they didn't have no black man on TV laid up with no white woman. You told these people a lie. I'm going to tell these people the truth, because that's why God sent me here. The truth is, these black women compete with white women for white men. They want white men. They've never liked our what we thought about women. In the 70s, the number one woman that black men liked was a woman by the name of Pam Grier. Did Pam Grier have long, stringy hair? Nope. She had a big old afro. We liked every black woman in the 70s. So if what you were saying is true, why did all the women in the 70s have big old afros? If what you said is true, why is it in the 80s we got videos of black men snatching wigs off of black women? We never liked wigs. They wanted to look like white women. We never asked them. There ain't a black man out here that'll tell you, I won't date a woman without an enclosure. And lastly, sir, right now, why do black men say they date white women, and why do we go crazy over white women? What's the thing we say we like the most about white women? Go ahead. Let's see if you can think of it. What is it?
That they not argumentative and they listen to you.
Are black women becoming non-argumentative to keep black men? Huh?
Yeah.
So they're not. No, they're not. Black women are arguing with niggas and telling you you're
yes, they were arguing.
You're a weak nigga for not accepting their attitude. So you mean to tell me they changed their hair because they thought we like white women's hair, but they won't change their attitude when we tell them that's what we like?
Damn, I brought it out of them tonight. I brought it out to you tonight, boy. Hey, are you up for any questions, Tommy?
They're gonna ask.
All right, family, it's your turn. It's your time. But always remember, if you're not going to be respectful, your question won't be answered and you will be kicked out. So be respectful. The link is in the chat. Y'all can come in. You have an opportunity now to ask the brother a question, you know. And let me get to Mo.
They done hit that cash app since I was dropping all this truth. Let me see if anybody done hit that.
Let me know. Let me know.
Y'all done hit my cash app. That'll hurt my feelings. Rio, he hit the cash app. Leviticus hit the cash app.
That's
Tim
what's
Scott,
up.
Yeah. Big
See, man, we love you over here, man.
We got 4. That's it.
Okay. Come on, man. We can do better than that, man.
And Big Dom is from my side. And Tim Scott say he a long-time listener. He from my side. Rio T, I think is from your side. He said credit to the platform. He put 2 on it. And Leviticus might be from your platform too. So that's it. Think about that. All this stuff I've been kicking. I got
no, it's more than that. Because I sent you when I sent you
from what they're saying.
That comes from them. So think about that. That comes from them.
They said, what's the cash app? They said you ain't been putting it in now.
All right. It's in there right now. The cash app is in there right now as we speak. Y'all can see it is in there right now. Tommy Sotomayor cash app is right there. Tommy Sotomayor. How come wealthy black men don't pull their money together, build a government in Africa, and raise their family in it?
Because, like I said, black men have fallen in love. Black people have fallen in love with the white man. That's why you have an FBA movement. They're just junior white supremacists. They love the white man. Black men don't want to be nowhere where the white man ain't at. Let me ask you something. Why is there a thing called white flight? What is white flight? Have you ever heard of this word?
No.
You ever heard of the word white flight?
No.
It's when white people were trying to move away from black folks.
Oh, okay.
Black people would complain about it because we wanted to be next to them. As a matter of fact, Michelle Obama blamed her neighborhood failing when she was a kid on white people leaving it. That is a sad thing that we want to be next to white people so much that if you notice, few blacks have what's called a passport. But the blacks who do have a passport, they go everywhere but Africa. Not any country in Africa, nor do they want to be near black folks. Black folks, when they get rich, like Tariq Nasheed, why he didn't move into an FBA neighborhood? As a matter of fact, if Tariq Nasheed believe in FBA so much, why don't he go back to his original name, Marcus Sanders? Nope. He wants to be Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed is a what name? A tether name. So he wants to abandon his FBA roots. Y'all don't hear me. Nobody want to hear that. He abandoned his FBA roots for Arab roots. He want to be an Arab. He could have went right back to his FBA name, proud heritage, lineage, delineate. But he don't want to do that. But he want to tell y'all to delineate. But when you ask him about Jews and whites, you know what he says? Well, they're both white. So if they're both white, why aren't all black people black? Because he won't go look at the end of Hidden Colors in all his movies. You know what names you're going to see? Steinberg, Goldstein. He's made a lot of other people rich. You know who he hadn't made rich? No other FBAs. Come on, tell me another FBA that got rich dealing with Tariq. But y'all don't want to hear that because I'm a coon. I'm crispy black. I hate myself. I don't hear the facts. That's the sad part about some of our people. They would rather hear a beautiful lie than a truth. I ain't never told no lie on nobody. You ain't never heard me say something about somebody and it wasn't true.
All right, family. With all this information the brother came through with, please support because we want to bring the brother back in the future sometime. You know, we want to make sure he'll come back. He ain't got no problem with coming back. But we also dropped the link so y'all could come in and ask the brother a question. Don't be afraid. It's all right. Y'all can come on in and ask the brother a question because we get ready.
Tariq love white people. He got one that live in the house with him. There's a white woman that live in the house with him. It ain't. There's no black woman that lives in the house with him, but there is a white one. His wife's mother. That's a white woman. She lives in the house. His sister married a white man. No, but everybody else is a problem.
All right. War Child, what's up, brother? Do you have a question?
Yeah, man. Yo, man, Sotomayor. Yo, Tommy, you are, I don't agree with everything you say, but yo, you be hitting some hard truths. I got a question for you.
Stop for 1 minute. Tommy, why do people say that?
I hate when they say it.
Me too. You know why? Because nobody agrees with
everybody.
I don't agree with you saying.
I'm gonna tell you why they say it. Hold on a second. I'm gonna tell you why.
The only thing I didn't agree with was the Trump thing. That's the only thing I didn't agree with.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna tell him and you why y'all say it. it's a subconscious thing because what I'm saying is still a situation where it could cause you backlash with black women. So it's easy to say I don't agree with everything because it's a get out of jail free card.
It's a get out of jail out of free card. Okay, you know what? I receive that. I receive that.
Go ahead, Watch Out.
That. So let me ask you this. I'm a father's rights advocate. So I defend the rights of fathers in child custody and everything.
So you've seen my movie A Fatherless America then, haven't you?
I have.
Good man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And actually, that was during the time that I was fighting for my kid. You know what I'm saying? So that was very powerful contribution to the. What do you think about the dynamic between single mothers and single fathers?
I've always said this, and shouts out to the movie A Fatherless America. You guys can go check it out if you just go to afatherlessamerica.com, or you can just watch it on Amazon Prime. Go to your Amazon Prime app right now, put my name in it. The movie comes up, A Fatherless America. Watch it from the app, enjoy it, write your real review of it. I always looked at it like this. I think one of the ways we can help the black community is people with kids need to get with people with kids, and people without kids need to get with people without kids. We need to start there. These women without kids should be able to be alive. I had a girl tell me she wouldn't date me. And I said, why? She said, because you got kids. She said, I want to be with a man who, when the first time I have a kid, that's his first time. He feels the same joy I feel. This is his first, not it's his third. It's his fifth. It's his ninth. And I thought about it. She said, I'm not trying to be mean. I said, ma'am, you're not being mean. I said, if you treat your vagina like it's important, then you're going to pick and choose who you let in it. If you treat vagina like it's house slippers, you let everybody stick their feet in it. And that's
you laughing, but that's real talk. That's real.
Yeah. If you think about it, I got a Corvette. Nobody has driven that Corvette. Nobody's getting in it. I will not let it. I had to tonight. I didn't want to let the valet guy. He was itching to drive it too. I didn't want to let him drive it because if he wrecked my car, who got paid for it? Me. And that's my thought about these women with children. A lot of men are getting gaffled by being with women with children. There's a lot of men who have children. They need to get together and work that thing out. Take your brokenness and y'all go ahead and fix that thing.
So
we need to stop ruining other people's lives.
Do you believe that when a relationship ends and there's children involved, that the children always should go with the mom, or
hell no?
Okay.
Statistics show fathers do a better job of raising children. Okay. Literally, go look at the statistics. That's what I talked about in the movie. You probably saw it.
My child is an all-A student.
Thank you.
The most well-behaved, and I'm the primary. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, they talk about my daughter. Every time they hear my daughter speak, every time they see my daughter dress, they're looking at her like, that's a well-spoken child. I'm like, exactly. That is what happens when there's a father around, because the first person that loves a daughter and loves her unconditionally is going to be her father. He's the only one, unless it's a strange dad. He's the only one that's going to want to just, there's a lot of strangers out there, but he's the only one in general that's want to give her everything and want nothing in return but her happiness and her safety. Every other man that she meet after that, going to be wanting that cat.
Mm-hmm. Got one more question for you. We discussed a lot about the issues within the black community as far as, the drug dealing and the killing, internally, but we never really discuss how they have the same issue, if not worse. I don't know if you watch court TV, but it'd be mostly white folks killing each other over insurance policies, and you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? They kill each other for money. You know what I'm saying? Wives will set their husbands up in the whole nine. Why do you think that in the black community, we get a negative stigma for internal issues and crimes of that nature, whereas white folks kind of it's almost like, oh, that's just like an abnormality, even though it's more prevalent in their community than it is in ours?
Well, I'll explain. Because even when the white wife does something, if you look at the criminal activity amongst all whites, with their number is very large. It's something that happens enough to make snap, but it's also something that they look at, and when they see it, they say it's wrong. Black folks, we justify a lot of our things that we do wrong, which then become chronic in the community. It becomes chronic. Like, think about it. Old black men, we don't like going to the doctor. Why? Because we scared he gonna tell us something wrong. We'd rather just sit in the house. What ends up typically happening to us? It becomes chronic. Now it done taken over our body. My granddaddy died like that. The doctor was like, he could have been simple. He could have literally stopped this a long time ago, but instead he'd rather take Goody's headache powder and drink Coke to make the pain go away instead of go and see what the problem was. Black folks are just like that as a whole. We don't want to see what the problem is. White people, Eminem made songs about how his mama wasn't ish. No white people said you hate yourself. That's a white queen. They know they got a lot of white mothers that ain't ish. That's why their kids able to say to their mama, you acting a B today, Sarah. Because they know she's not the end all be all. We the only people who believe mama's the end all be all. What do you have? Now you got grown men in their 60s talking to their mama on the phone and their mama still punking them. And you done seen it. Mama, why you say that? My mama, you got a grown man and he's old. He's scared of his mama. And they want it that way. The condition has become chronic. So white people will call their bad behavior out and put it on Front Street. That's why we know so many white teachers is out here sleep with the students. They put it on Front Street. We don't hear about the black teachers that's doing it, do we? And why don't we? Because we try to hide it. We hear about white people having incest. Black folks try to act like they don't do it. Well, I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in the projects. I knew for a fact we were sleeping with cousins. But we try to act like it didn't happen. We got so many little boys that's been molested and raped in the black community. They can't say nothing. That's why we have this explosion of black gay men. Because if I can't say nothing, I might as well just go with what happened. We hide our dirt. We act like it didn't exist. We sweep it under the rug and say everybody else worse. Because they put their problems out there in the street. We only know if white people were really trying to keep their problems secret, we'd never know they happen because we don't own the media. We don't own news. Who's putting their dirt out? They are.
All right, Moses, let's go.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, peace and blessings, brother Tommy, man. Ancestors protection be around you, brother. I got just 3 quick points, man, I wanted to touch on. The first point I wanted to touch on, man, is if I was blessed enough to be your complexion and somebody was calling me crispy and dark night and all like that, my response to them would be, at least my ancestors were obedient. At least my ancestors, stayed true to themselves. And that's the reason why I'm not all polluted and diluted like the rest of y'all. That's what I would say. But unfortunately, I'm unable to say that because, I had, disobedient ancestors, bro. So keep that in mind, man. Don't ever let nobody make you feel bad about your complexion, man. You look like the original gods that was on this planet, bro. Believe that. So the other point that I wanted to bring up is your response to my question when I asked, how come wealthy black men don't pool their money together and build a government in Africa so we can raise our, families there, our women and our children? Your response was because we love being around white people. But I was kind of tripping off of that response, bro, because, okay, if we have our own government, we have our own legislative, executive, and judicial branch, I mean, we would still have to rub elbows with white people. So technically, we would still be around them, but we're operating from a position of power when dealing with them instead of operating from a position of weakness like we are now. So I don't understand that response, bro. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, no problem. See, if we run in the United States right now, we have an opportunity. We don't have to leave the United States. If we just wanted to be around black people, we could go to places like Detroit because Detroit had a black government. But what happened with that black government? They robbed the people. Look at what happened up in Dothan, Illinois. They had a black mayor. And here in Atlanta, we had one. And almost every place around the United States, when we got blacks running that part of that government, what do blacks do? Ruin it. They steal. We got black colleges down here that went under where they could not pay the light bill. A white man had to come in and save these black colleges because the black deans and the black presidents were robbing the money and not even paying the bills. White men would rob their colleges too, but they make sure the bills was paid and they would rob from what's left. Black folks was robbing and not paying the bills. Black folks in America see that. We talk a big game. We don't believe what we're saying. We've noticed that if you look at the G8 summit, guess who's not in the G8 summit? Not one black nation. So the top nations around the world are non-black. Ain't nobody stupid. We know if we see that, we don't want to be nowhere where blacks are running it. Because when blacks are running it, they seem to run it horribly throughout the world. So blacks don't want to do that. We'd rather be around whites, because what do we know about working for whites? Whites will keep the lights on. Whites will keep the IRA going. Whites will keep the 401k going. They will. We know this. That's why we like being around them, because we know if we're around whites, the stores are going to be clean. Whenever you went to a black neighborhood, go to a Popeyes in a white neighborhood. Look how clean it is. Look how the service is nice. Go to one in the black neighborhood. Look how Keisha now with long fingernails and doing that. I just saw a video the other day where they showed they had to shut down a Popeyes in Detroit because they had big roaches and rats in there eating the food. That is why black folks like staying around whites. All these blacks talk a lot of crap about white people. Who got them their first job? Who gave them their first loan? It was a white person. It's hard to leave that to go be around the people who typically had a lot to say, but didn't do much.
All right, family. So I hear what you're saying, man. And I've heard that response before, but okay, so they have this thing about, you gotta use your third eye. You gotta use your third eye. So let's put our third eye on. Do you think that maybe the reason why every attempt for black people to be self-sufficient inside of this white supremacist construct had failed because we were actually inside this white supremacist construct? And the same thing with Africa. One of the reasons why Africa can't really rise and be the gods on earth like their ancestors used to be, because, you still have a lot of these colonizers in your country. Do you think that maybe behind the scenes, that is really what the colonizers are doing? They're actually sabotaging us in the dark, which makes us end up wanting to be around them. You don't feel like, these people, you know how they say the black cat is bad luck? You don't think that maybe these white cats are around, when they're around us, when we're never really completely separated from their construct? You don't think that, maybe we might actually see some success if we completely, totally separated from them to where they have no access to us? Because I'm almost finished. Every example that you gave, they've always still been around somewhere, around the corner, somewhere, in the background somewhere. All right, I'm done.
No. I'm a person who was against integration. I think segregation, blacks were our greatest in segregation because we had to depend upon each other. I think the saddest part is that we do better when people refuse to be around us than when we have the choice to be around each other. We had to make stores that were clean. My grandmother was poor and she believed in keeping the project apartment that we lived in spotless because she said, what you have, you still are supposed to be a good steward over it. Well, now we don't believe that. Now you go through the project house, they peeing right at their front door. They're spray painting right around the window. They breaking the windows. They're literally selling the drugs by their house. You never heard of no Italian mob selling drugs in his neighborhood. You never heard of it because they believed in this simple thing of you do your dirt away from it. You don't ish where you eat. Now, that being said, Asians, unless you're calling them white, why do they still have their important part of the world? Mexicans still got Mexico. Indians still got India. All of these other places that aren't white still have their places. The only people who don't are black folks. So unless the entire world conspired against black folks to keep them down, which still means we must have a low IQ if we allowed it to happen, because we used to be kings and queens and ran the whole world. I promise you, if I tell you, we even make a joke about it in the rap game, do we not? He talk about how he used to be the man, but he ain't the man no more. Well, black folks love talking about how we used to be the man, but we ain't the man no more. And when you ain't the man no more, you supposed to do what? Do everything you can to get back on top. Because I don't know no drug dealer that used to be the man who now fell off, get to go to the drug dealer who took over his block and beg him for reparations. Y'all don't hear me? He took over your block. You don't get to go ask him for what he took from you. You got to go take it. So if we really were serious about what we would do, we got to take it from the white man. If you were listening earlier when I started the show, I told sa.neter, I said, almost everything those white liberals are doing to black folks, they're using them. They're using them to get what they want. They will promise the black man something, and the black man something that he know the black man don't want to do. One of the laziest things you can do, and I'm a victim of it, is to give somebody else control over what you do, and you feel like I give you money, you do it. See, we believe if we get a white Democrat's money, they'll go and do our bidding for us. Well, that's not how it works, because they realize that you're going to always give them their money and they never have to do anything, like Umar Johnson. That being said, if you got a house large as mine, you can let somebody come in and put all your cameras in. You can let them put your internet system together. You can let them put your security system together. It's easy, it's done right, and it's done well. What's the problem when you do that? He has access to your security. He has access to your phone, and he walked through your whole house and know where everything at. That's what we do to the white man. Everything we do, we let him in, and we let him put the wiring in. We let him put the all the systems in. He don't have to work. When has the white man ever had to work hard to sabotage us? One of the main things he did to sabotage black folks was tell them what? The one drop rule. You know what the one drop did? Send his son into your house, and you accepted him because he was black. But it was his son. His son is now in your house. He pro-black just like you. He black just like you. You know what he did? Caused dissension in your house because he got pretty hair and you don't, because his hair's like his daddy's. Yours is like your daddy. Your daddy in the field. His daddy owned the field. They created the dissension like that and didn't have to fire one shot. White people don't like to fight. White people fight you up here, which is smart. And that's what we need to do. We need to fight up here. Right. You watch how people want to get rid of me instead of listening to me.
Right.
White people smart enough to listen. Listen to your enemy. White man, when he came to the United States, who did he listen to? The Indian. The Indian saved the white man. He was about to die. He listened to him, found out how he did everything he did. Then what'd he do? Took him out.
Took him out.
There you go.
What'd he do to the black man? We've had our own language, used to talk in the field. He learned it. You see white men speaking, Wagwan is a white man. He can speak the same language as you. We don't believe in having interpreters in the black community. See, y'all try to get rid of y'all coons and white adjacent blacks. No. Them the ones you need to bring in. You know why? Because he know what the white man got in his house now. He been in the white man's house. He know what the white man do. We need to bring him in and debrief him. So while y'all only want pro-blacks, no. Whites don't only want pro-whites. They love that white boy that been hanging out with the black folks and know the black folks lingo. They love him, Justin Timberlake's. Why? Because he got intel. We need intel. We need to stop shaming people for knowledge. That's the downfall of what black people were.
All right. And with that, Moses, that's it.
But yo, let me just fire this last point, man. I got 2 points, so I just got one more point. It's gonna be quick, bro. Real quick. All right, so
only because you donate all the time. So go ahead, man.
I appreciate that, fam. I appreciate that. So Tommy, man, I do be in my feelings, man, when I hear you going in on our sisters, right? But one thing I understand about our sisters, man, and this is me defending the sisters. You might, think I'm a simp or whatever, but in defense of my sisters here in America, I take into account that they have been raised up in a white supremacist construct. They have been born in this sin and shaped by this iniquity over here. So that leads me back to my other point when I was saying, so if we see this is going on with our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, mainly our daughters, when we see that it's difficult to raise our daughters in this society, I don't understand how come it is wealthy black men don't come to the conclusion that, you know what, we have to pull our money together and completely separate from this society. And then the black woman, which is really the first teacher of both male and female children, we have to reprogram our daughters in our government, or in our colony that we established in Africa. We got to reprogram our daughters so that when they come up, they don't come up with the mentality that the black women here in America had. So ultimately, I'm saying, you know, when you be going in on our sisters, man, just please take that into account, man. Think of where it is that they've been raised at, bro. And maybe the only way that we're really going to be able to heal our sisters, man, is by a total and complete separation from this construct and doing our own thing. All right, son. All right,
let me ask you, do black men struggle?
I mean, we struggle because our sisters don't see, our mothers don't see that, you know.
No, do we struggle in America? Do we struggle?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we do. Okay, we don't have to, but we do.
But we don't get the excuse. Everything here's the thing. We blame all kinds of things of what women go through. But if a man don't pay child support, you know what they never tell you? Well, I mean, he a black man American. You know, they used to separate the black family and they used to take the black man child. They make it hard. So it's okay that he do it. If you beat your wife, they ain't gonna say, well, you know, he did see his daddy beat his mom and his granddaddy beat his grandma. They ain't gonna give you the excuse. You know what they tell you? You know better, do better. So we need to start talking to them the way they talk to us. You know better, you do better. I'm not going to do you know why it's not going to change what black women do? Because no offense, brothers like you will give them an out and tell you it ain't their fault. I don't know if you have children, but I do. If you tell them what they do wrong ain't their fault, it's somebody else's, do you think they're going to get better or worse? Imagine coaching a team and telling the team the reason you ain't hitting layups is because what they doing to you. Not you ain't hitting the layups. You need to work on them that much harder. If they fouling, what they tell you when you play sports. If they fouling, fight through it. If they holding, fight through it. If you got to play and beat the refs, beat them too. We ain't going to give no excuses. Black women cannot keep using the excuse of the white man society. We raised in the same society. If it's true, we be walking around with wigs on too. They easy to make. We be walking around with wigs trying to look like white men. But we don't. If it's true, then why is it that we got to call them queens, but they don't go around calling us kings? They call you broken dusty. Even the person in the comment section, let me tell you how much we lie as black folks. Everybody know crispy has always been a diss to someone with a dark skin color. Tyreek got called out by some of the people in y'all community. Said, hey, that's messed up. He changed and said, I only called Tommy crispy because crispy mean ashy. Punk Negroes in the comment section said, Tommy, we call you that because you ashy. They ain't never seen me ashy. They don't have no, if that was what the case was, name another black man that got called crispy because he was ashy. We call ashy people ashy. They called him Ashy Larry, not Crispy Larry. That is a complete lie. And yet, because they like Tyreek and didn't like me, they start telling the lie. Yeah, it meant ashy. And yet, Tyreek couldn't produce one photo of me ashy. Not one. If I was that ashy, they would be able to put a bunch of video. Look, they would have the proof. Look how ashy he is. He just be ashy. He ashy. Then you got a girl named Carla who said, well, that's your karma. Because what you said about black women, that's your karma. Oh, so my karma is that every other dark-skinned person has to fear that if they say something y'all don't like, y'all gonna make fun of their skin color? My karma? These are from black folks. So if you believe that's my karma, lady, slavery was black folks' karma. And every time one of you black women get, or somebody do something to you, it's your karma, lady. If you really believed in karma, why is it you only believe in bad things happening to people you don't like, but when they happen to you, you want sympathy? That's my point, sir. There's a lot of what you say to these women, they're evil. If you ask my opinion, black women are black men's downfall. Black women do not They are literally the thing that harms our community because of the crap they say. You listen to them. You got black boys right now afraid to talk to black women because they know if they walk up to them, if they don't have the right clothes on, the right swag, she not only will tell you she's not interested, but she'll try to embarrass you in front of the world. Look at what you see right now. Black women are always exposed in DMs of black men. They don't ever expose no DMs to them nasty white men that be in their comment section. Y'all never notice that? White men never get exposed by black women with what they said in their DM. Only you. Because they don't like you. The enemy to black men is black women. They are not your kind. If they were, they would be just as mad as when they see a black man with a white woman. They would be just as mad as Serena Williams. They have never complained about a white woman, a black woman with a white man. Never happened. Why not? If they were our sisters, they would be bothered by it, but they're not. They set up and watched Meghan Markle get married, and they all sat in front of the TV and said, thank you to that white boy for making a black woman a queen. They actually said this. The number one show that used to be on television used to be a show called Scandal. Ask every black woman. I want you to do it today. Ask a black woman if she ever watched Scandal. She'll tell you yes. If she does, ask her why did she watch it. Do you know what she'll say? She says she watched it because it was a true love story, because that white man wanted to be with the black woman, but he couldn't because society tried to keep them apart. That's your sister. That's your queen who says this. Bro, I know y'all don't want to hear it. She's your enemy until she changes her mindset.
But Tommy, how come you never put a disclaimer to it and say, I'm not talking about all black women, but I would go up and say the majority of you black women, you know, because there are women out there. Yeah, because I agree with you. But
people ask me that question all the time. I'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
In the club, they say, if you ain't got no money, take your broke home. You say it. Have you heard them say that at the club?
Yes.
Have you ever seen anybody leave?
No. No.
But you know, it's some people in there broke, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Every time, if they say a lot of y'all Negroes in Atlanta is homosexual, all the men that don't want to be called gay say, I don't know nobody like that. But yet one of them who said it is one of them who is. Mm-hmm. So the point behind it is when you use the word some, everybody pretends it's not them. Every time you say the word some, everybody pretends it's not them. So what I do is I say, you smart enough, because let me explain. When we say black women got the best bodies, I don't hear nobody stand up and say, not all, my girl got a flat butt. Not all, look at me, I got a bad shape. When we say black women are queens, you don't hear nobody step up and say, not all. When we say black women are educated, you don't hear nobody stand up and say, not all. So if you don't say not all when you get a compliment, don't say not all when you hear something you don't want to hear. She said, what about the white women who watch Housewives? What are you talking about, ma'am? Look at her name. Hey, that is proof what I said. She did not only call herself queen, but goddess. And she gave herself that name. Ain't nobody call her that. She got this high self-esteem from where? Queen and goddess? And then what to say? What about white women who watch Housewives? Housewives ain't white women lusting after black men. Why would you say that? Apparently you don't understand English, ma'am. I said there were black women watching this. And why would I worry about what white women do when Mosey was talking about us as black folks? Why would I care that a white woman's doing this? Idiot. The whole point is I said they're not our friend because they are cheering on a black woman being with a white man, but they would never cheer on a black man being with a white woman. So next time you donate, make sure you understand what you're donating for, Queen Goddess.
And with that, I want to say thank you, Tommy, man. I appreciate you coming through once again, blessing the platform. I hope I was able to at least pay for half of your dinner tonight, brother.
Let me see what happened. I know you just told the people. Let's see if anybody did something. Leo came through. Scott Green came through. Marlena came through. Joe Main came through. MK came through. Leo came through. Marlia came through. Brandon came through. DJ Rick came through. Sean came through. D. Cole came through. Chris, Ellie, and Lee Young. So that's it. I appreciate Rio T also. That's it. So all little bit counts. It doesn't matter. Y'all don't ever feel bad about what you sent, because to me, it's the sentiment that counts. And anybody that decided they found any value in what I said and enough for them to just hit that Cash App or hit the like or come over and follow me over on Rumble, just look up the Tommy Sotomayor.
Yeah, we got your link in the chat. We dropped your link a few times.
Or go watch A Fatherless America. The movie they swore I didn't make.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
See why Amazon got it at a 4.5. I think it's a 4.5 out of 5. See why IMDb got it at a 8.9 out of 10. And this is after people bombed it with 1 reviews. Still got an 8 out of 9.
Wow, beautiful, brother. Proud of you, Tommy. Keep doing what you do. Don't let these Negroes stop you. You know. And peace and blessings, man. Peace and blessings to you.
See you guys.
Thanks, sa.neter, man. Thanks for letting me rock out. Peace to the gods, man. I've come to set y'all free.
Thank you for setting us free, Moses. All right, Tommy, you can see yourself out.
All right. I'm trying to figure out how to do it now. I'm trying to figure out what button I gotta press.
All right, I help you.
Yeah, get rid of me.
Shout out to sa.neter.
People like sa.neter, because you put in a lot of work, and you've been putting in work before a lot of folks, before the YouTube thing. You've been doing this stuff. So that type of black media is so needed in our community, and now people are gravitating towards you because, you know, it takes a minute for people to kind of catch on to stuff. So now people are catching on to it and seeing the importance of having a black media apparatus where the truth comes out.
I'll tell you something. There is no one on this medium that's using this medium for this that cannot take anything from sa.neter. That's we got to be clear. We got to be clear. He is the foundation of bringing it through this YouTube medium in the way that many of us do.
Since I met Brother sa.neter, that I had really gotten to the level where I am now in terms of people having access to the information that I have. I've been in public speaking for 10 years, but in the past 8 months, and this is no exaggeration, in the past 8 months since meeting Brother sa.neter, I have gotten more speaking engagements, interviews, and other requests for my expertise and support than I have in the previous 10 years.
But we can't take away from the dedication that he put in to make this a genre of its own. This is a genre of its own. This conversation is a genre. On YouTube, you got the gamers, you got the news station, you got the, you know what I mean? You have all, this is a genre, and this genre was put out there by sa.neter.
Sa.neter is the foundation, okay, of YouTube.
Absolutely.
So, now listen to me. I know when I was on 125th Street, it was sa.neter on 125th Street, regardless of the weather, with the bullhorn teaching black man is God and white man is the devil. Sa.neter.
I'll say I'm honored, first of all, to be on sa.neter TV, sa.neter Studios, Brother House of Conscience, House of Knowledge, all of those different names. This is legendary, and without this brother paving the way on media when it comes to us and our voice, I don't think it would have been the same. So I thank Allah for that brother and all the good work that he has done for a very long time.
I was on 125th Street right side by side with sa.neter for years. Then I decided we got so heavy, so much traffic, I moved down the street. But sa.neter was the one that set up. Sa.neter is the foundation and the man, because you had nobody in America out there that did the work that sa.neter did. Actual fact.
It's good for brothers to debate because that gets folks on top of their game. And I respect that part of it. That's a good way to share information. You share knowledge. If somebody's slipping and incorrect with the knowledge, you're having a debate and you're correcting that person.
We cannot take away from this genre that he put together, and so I got to give props where it's due.
I have tremendous respect for Brother sa.neter. I first became acquainted with Brother sa.neter through a phone call. He had given me a phone call back in, I believe it was August or September of this past year, 2010. I had already knew of the brother, and was actually interested in linking up with him myself. And finally, I got a phone call from Brother sa.neter himself. He gave me a call, and he told me that he was impressed with the information because he said I was going straight off the top, no notes, no nothing, dropping a lot of information that a lot of folk had never heard before. So he asked me if I would be interested in coming on his radio show, a blog talk radio show, which I had never heard of until I spoke with Brother sa.neter. So we did a blog talk radio show. I believe we did 2 back-to-back shows. And ever since those 2 back-to-back shows I did with Brother sa.neter, again, which was in August and September, I believe, I've been on blog talk ever since. So it's been 8 months straight since I met Brother sa.neter that I had really gotten to the level where I am now in terms of people having access to the information that I have.
You know, it's an institution. I always respected the institution that came from the street, out the street, and found its way on YouTube and Blog Talk, giving people in the community access to blogs before they was even doing that. You was putting that mic in front of people's face, right? You never said you had a scientific channel. You never said you had none of that. It was a community-based channel to educate them, and you allow the people within the community to educate each other. I think it's a dope reality, right? I never think you should stop that.
Yo, hurry up, turn it on. sa.neter TV about to go live right now. Hurry up, I gotta watch sa.neter TV.
I watch sa.neter, 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 I watch sa.neter.
Evolution, revolution, truth hour, black power, bloodline, land hours, red pill, blue pill, Sankofa. We take the red and the blue pill, we taking over. I'ma have to break my condition without a doubt. I am not a slave to the system, I'm breaking out. sa.neter know if he see the devil, he point him out. So we standing with our fist in the air to scream and shout.
Peace and black power, 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 peace and black power.
The revolution is here. sa.neter Studios, sa.neter TV, Black News 102.
I watch sa.neter, 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 I watch sa.neter.
PUP, DoloMissionENT.com.